Hello students, it's Mr. Martin, that testing coordinator guy, and I want to thank you for your attention this week as we're trying to get you ready for 100% online testing at Sunset, and for you to pass those tests that you need to graduate from high school and to otherwise show all those things that you've learned in class. Somebody asked me today, well, do you feel confident that teachers are showing this video and doing these things in advisory? And yes, I do feel confident because I know our teachers are very professional and they want to see you do well on your tests. And also, I've been receiving some very valuable feedback on y'all's experience and your readiness in terms of bringing your devices and all those things we need to do to be successful. So I feel confident in that. The one thing I worry about is that maybe not enough students are paying attention. So I beg you to pay attention because we want you to have great success. We don't want you to have to take your tests multiple times. And we want Sunset to look the best it can be by showing all the great things that you guys have learned. So please pay attention today as we shift gears and we start looking at the system that we call DAN, which happens to be my first name. This is the Dallas Assessment Navigator, is why they call it DAN. Some of you know it as School City. And what we're going to do today is familiarize you with the system. We're going to show you how it works and the basic tools. We're not going to have you work on it today. We're going to do that tomorrow, Friday. But today, Thursday, you're going to be patient for about 20 minutes while you watch how DAN operates. Most of you know you get to DAN through Clever, and some of you have bad memories from before Thanksgiving of trying DAN and it working for some students and not other students. We feel confident that the district has done some things to improve the operation of DAN, but we'll worry about that tomorrow on Friday. Today, we want you to get familiar with it, to see the tools much like we did with Cambian, and you'll see some similarities. But so that when you go in to take the test, you're not learning how to work the system. You're concentrating on the test using the tools the system gives you. Pay close attention to the toolbox. The toolbox is a button you press, and then you can see a lot of the tools that are available for that test. And they'll be different depending on which test you're taking. So if it's a math test, you'll see more math tools. Hey, go figure. And so on and so forth. So pay attention to that pretty closely. Now, I didn't do a lot of fancy transitions here on this video. It's just the facts, just the nuts and bolts. And so you'll see it'll go from showing you the highlighter tool to showing you the line reader tool to showing you the next thing to showing you the next thing. Not a lot of fluff. It's meant to inform. So I ask teachers to encourage students to make students watch, and I ask you students to watch because what you see today you can practice tomorrow, and you can use it for the rest of your time at Sunset, and maybe even beyond when you use similar programs in any other learning you do beyond high school. Having said that, let's get this thing started.
When first logged in, School City presents the home page. The home page displays three parts: an account header, navigation bar, and customizable launchpad. The account header confirms the student's name, shows the school, and provides access to the logout function. After logging in, take a moment and make sure the right name shows here. The navigation bar contains links to other pages of interest. The activated page will be highlighted in orange. The customizable dashboard contains flip cards. These cards show the most relevant or recent information and are abbreviated forms of the links above. Don't worry if one or more of these flip cards are not present or appear in a different color. Flip cards may be added or removed via the gear icon. Simply pick the cards to show on the screen. When an assessment gets assigned, log in and locate the assessment assigned by the teacher. To locate the assessment, select the Take Assessments flip card and review the 4 most recently activated assessments. If the assessment is listed, select the assessment name to begin the assessment. If the name of the assessment is not listed on the flip card, select More within the flip card or select Assessments in the header to be taken to a list of all the assessments currently assigned to complete. Locate the assessment and select the corresponding Start button. If the assessment still can't be found, contact the teacher. Some teachers may require a 4-digit PIN to start the test, but others may not. If prompted, enter the PIN provided by the teacher to continue. This is an example of an assessment. The assessment name is at the top, so make sure it's the correct one. Questions are numbered in the header. Sometimes questions are grouped together, like in this example where questions are linked to one reading passage. In the event that one or more questions are not displayed on the screen, use the scroll feature to scan up or down. If the questions or answers are hard to read, use Ctrl+ to zoom in and Ctrl- to zoom out. If the machine being used is a Mac, use Command+ or Command-. Depending on preferences, all of the questions can be displayed, or just the questions that still need an answer. To navigate to the previous or next questions, use the P for previous and N for next buttons. Or jump to a specific question by selecting the question number. Various test-taking tools may be available, depending on the test. Don't worry if some of these do not appear while taking a test. For example, this series of icons, similar to that of a video player, become available if a teacher enables the text-to-speech tool. When the play button is selected, either a passage or a question will be read aloud. Select an area of the question or passage to activate text-to-speech for just that section. The audio settings for the narrator's voice can be found in the header, along with several other assessment tools. The toolbox contains more digital test-taking tools enabled by the teacher. These may vary from assessment to assessment and could contain tools like calculators and/or dictionaries. Some visual options that may be enabled by a teacher include the color contrast feature, which enables alternative color schemes, the zoom feature, which grows or shrinks the size of the text, and the full screen feature. If unsure about any questions, use the flag to mark a question to know that it needs a second look. If there's a hard question that has distracting answers that aren't right, use the answer eliminator to place a red X on the answer choices that definitely aren't right so that they aren't distracting anymore. Just be sure to turn the answer eliminator off when selecting the correct answer. When finished with the assessment, complete a few quick steps. On the final question of the assessment, the Next button will turn into the Done button. Select the Done button. The review summary appears, which shows all the answers that were picked. Flagged questions are also shown along with any notes that were taken. If a question has a flag that needs to be reviewed, select the question from the table to give that question another try. If the assessment is ready to be turned in, the Submit button must be selected for the assessment to be scored. A submission alert will only appear if some of the questions are still missing answers. This page provides an opportunity to return to the assessment or continue with submitting the assessment for scoring.
The Dallas Assessment Navigator provides students a variety of tools to use during their test-taking experience. At the top of the screen at the right, you'll see a zoom feature icon. Students can zoom in or zoom out here on the test questions. We also have a toolbox. We're going to check out the highlighter first. Let's close that. After reading this question, this sentence is important to solving this problem, and I'm going to highlight it yellow. But I also note that there are numbers in this question that are important and relevant in solving this problem. So I'm going to highlight those a different color based on my strategy. I'll do these blue on this side. Those are just a couple examples of how you could use the highlighter to apply paper-based test-taking strategies to an online experience. Let's go ahead and go back up to the toolbox. If a test is paired with a calculator, it is based on the content of that test and the grade level of that test. So for example, if a test is paired with an advanced graphing calculator, this one would be in the toolkit for the student. Here's an example of what is in the platform, and you can see that the calculator is a Desmos calculator. I'm going to go ahead and close that, move that out of the way. The next thing I'd like to show you is the dictionary feature. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this word dense. And as you can see, I still have my highlighter tools, but right underneath that, I have a dictionary, and then I have a picture dictionary. So I'm going to click this one first. and a pop-up comes up and we can see the word and the definitions. Doing that again, and I'm going to model that without the highlighter there in case some students prefer just to see the dictionary icons. I'll choose the picture dictionary this time, and you can see the example here as well. Next up are the three icons here. We have the flag feature, where students can actually flag the entire question. And when they get to the review summary before they submit for scoring, students can go back and review those questions and make sure they don't have anything else they would like to change or add to it. And I can unflag a question as well. I can also flag parts of a question that will pop up when I go back to that flag section. The next feature I'd like to show you is the answer eliminator right here in the middle. I'm going to click that X, and I've decided that these two answers are not going to be in the running. C and D are out. I'm going to eliminate those. And based on my paper pencil strategies, I can also apply that here and eliminate two answers in an online platform. And kids can visually see that they've removed those two options. And now they're just going to look at answers A and B and determine which one's best. I'm going to go ahead and unclick those as well because we're going to model the next tool here. So take off that answer eliminator. And then I'm going to go to the notes icon. This is really powerful. This part is available for students to add notes to this actual question. I really like that they can move it around the screen and it won't be on top of the text. They can make it larger or smaller depending on what they're comfortable with. They do have the option to cut, copy, and paste. And that's helpful as well when they're explaining their thought process or solution path. And typing is here as well. And just going to model that for you. There you go. But students must save here, just as they would save the question before moving to the next question, they would save here as well. And when they return back to this question, the notes would pop up and they would see what they had placed here. Again, in the review summary, it's there again for the student. And then what's really great is when the teacher, once the test is scored, they're able to see those student notes on their dashboard.
Hello, I'm going to show you how to use a highlighter feature on the Dallas Assessment Navigator platform. It is simple, quick, and easy. As a reminder, you always have your assessment title here at the top. You also always have your question numbers here listed, and you can move through those questions using the previous or the next button. Over here are our different features, and we're going to go to the tool box to turn on our highlighter. So we click on Tools. We come over here to highlighters. We're going to turn that on and hit close. So as I look through my assessment or I look at my question and it's asked about refrain. And so I look here and I'm going to highlight this line. I'm going to highlight that orange. Because all of those sentences match, and that's my refrain, that's my repeat. And so here I have this. So I'm done with that part of the question. And so now I want to remove that highlighting. So all I need to do is go back through, highlight it again, and click on the white color to undo the highlighting. And it's just that simple. So you can highlight and then remove the highlight if need be. You can use different colors on different parts of it. Because brown and town rhyme together. So I'm going to make those both pink. Whereas falls, calls, and falls all rhyme together. So once again, to be able to remove this highlighting, all I need to do is just highlight everything and click on the white highlighter to undo. And that is the highlighting feature. Thank you. Hello, I'm going to show you how to use the line reader tool on the Dallas Assessment Navigator platform. It is simple, quick, and easy. As a reminder, on the left-hand side, you will always see your assessment title. You will also see your questions here, the number of questions that you need to answer. And on the right-hand side, you will see this toolbox. To get the line reader, all you need to do is open the toolbox, which is click on it here, and then select it. So we're going to choose the line reader, close this box. On the line reader, you will notice that you're able to move it around to wherever you need. As you're able to move it around, you're also able to resize it. So for me, I want to show you how you can use this with a reading passage. So I'm going to make this a little smaller so where I can see only 2 lines of the passage at a time. So if I want to do this and I'm going to read my passage, I set up my size. It looks good. I see the paragraph number and I'm able to see these 2 lines at a time. So now I'm going to lock the line reader. So with the line reader being locked, now I can move my passage. So I've read those 2 sentences, and as I scroll down, I can have where I can limit and focus my eye on the most important part of what I'm reading. So if I've done that paragraph or I want to move it around, all I need to do now is unlock the line reader. And I can move it around to my next paragraph, or I can move it over here to my questions, lock it again, and scroll through the question. To remove the line reader, all I need to do is select the toolbox again, deselect the line reader feature, and now the box is gone. And that is it. That's the line reader tool. Thank you. Hello. I'm going to show you how to use the dictionary feature on the Dallas Assessment Navigator platform. It is simple, quick, and easy. As a reminder, your assessment title will be here. Your number of questions that you have to answer are here, and you'll be able to maneuver through those. And then all the rest of the different features that this platform has and that has been turned on for you by your teacher will be available. Remember, just hover over to discover what those features are. One of the features, the dictionary feature is one of the features that is not hoverable. It's not listed here. What you have to do is you have to go to the word that you're looking for. So if you're reading this sentence here and you get to the word environments and you're like, I don't remember what that means, you can highlight the word environments and then this will pop up, this little bar. If you hover over this first part of it, it shows dictionary. So you just click on the dictionary, and now it tells you the definition of environments. It gives you 2 definitions. This is the first one. So it gives you what the part of speech it is, and that it's in the synonyms. And then the second one, it gives you the part of speech and gives you an example sentence of how to use that word. So I'm also going to go ahead and define the word multicolored for us to see another definition, another example of this feature. So you click on the dictionary again. And here you have multicolored, it's an adjective, once again, the parts of speech. They give you here similar words and synonyms. And so you're able to see all of this material by a click with the dictionary. And you think, will I be able to do this for all words? No, because if we come down here to steelhead and click on the dictionary, it will tell you that there are no definitions available for this selected word. And so you will be able to do some words, but not all of them. So that is the dictionary feature on the platform. Thank you. Hello, I'm going to show you how to use the picture dictionary feature of the Dallas Assessment Navigator. It is simple, quick, and easy. As a reminder, I wanted to show you that here is your assessment title. Here are the number of questions that you need to answer. And here are some other features of the assessment. Once again, if you hover over any of these, you will see what these features are for. One of the features that is not listed here, but you do have access to, is the picture dictionary feature. And picture dictionary is just a visual reminder or a visual definition of the word. Just something to help you trigger your mind to remember what that means. And so here we have a sentence, and we have a word here that says amphibians. Well, I want to remember what an amphibian is. So I can highlight this, hover over picture dictionary, and here are pictures of amphibians. And so now this triggers in my mind that an amphibian is a frog or toad. We can also, as we're reading, it says fish need some salt in their blood. Is this the same salt that I use in the kitchen? So I can highlight this word salt, click on picture dictionary to get a visual, and see that this is salt. So it's the same salt that I would see in a kitchen. And so those are my visuals. Now, if I come down here to salt water and highlight this word and click on the picture dictionary, I do not get a picture because every word does not have a visual definition connected to it. That would be something that I would have to remember. Hello, I'm going to show you how to use the flag feature on the Dallas Assessment Navigator platform. It will be simple, quick, and easy. Just to remind you that the assessment title will always be found here in the top left-hand corner. You will also always see the question numbers and see the question that you're on listed here at the top. And on the right-hand side, you will see our toolbox and other different features on the assessment or accommodations on the assessment. Today, we're going to use the flag feature, and it is right here on the question. And the flag means that you can flag a question by clicking here, and it means that when you get ready to submit, if you're not ready to answer this question right now, you can flag it and come back. So I can go now to question number 9. And let me say I read this already and I'm answering C and E. And so I want to see the questions that I have skipped or the questions that I'm going to come back to because I want to read further. So I can come over here to the review summary, and it will show here each item I have flagged. So I flagged number 2, I flagged number 3, and I flagged question number 8. But if I want to go back now and answer question number 8, I can click on number 8, respond, remove the flag, and now I've already answered question number 9, and then I can go on answering my questions. So you can flag, and then to remove the flag, all you have to do is click again. So back to my review summary where I can see all of my flagged items. And so I have still number 2 and number 5 flagged. But if I want to see, when I get ready to submit my test, if I click submit, it'll tell me flagged items 2 and 5. That means that I need to go back to questions number 2 and 5 and finish those because I did flag them. and that is the flag feature on the Dallas Assessment Navigator.
So there it is. I told you it'd be very informative, not so entertaining, but it'll really pay off for you if you paid close attention. So tomorrow when we're practicing on the DAN system, when we have any trouble, we want to make careful notes of this. I mean, your teacher will do this, but we want to provide your name, your ID, and any details about the trouble we're having. So we have a complete list of all the students who had trouble and the specifics about what kind of trouble they had. Because when I share that then with the district people, they can fix those problems. And then we'll have a much smoother last 2 weeks of this fall semester before we get a full 16 days off. Thanks again, y'all.